Hello everybody and welcome to the wonderful world of football shirts. We are a podcast that is dedicated to all things football shirts, or sports shirt, as it might be.
It is now.
Today. Yeah, it is now. God, what have we become? It is our safe space in where we are allowed to share our opinions on different sporting tops and talk about them with love and kindness that they deserve, unless they're shit, and then we just tell the facts.
Bin them off.
Yeah. I'm Richard. I don't think I introduce myself that often, but I think people just realise that I am Richard, and I am one of the hosts of the show. But I also have with me today, I've got Jake from Art on Shirts. Say hello.
Hello.
You all right?
How are you?
I'm fine. You?
Good. Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah. I'm not too bad. Long time no see.
I know. Isn't that nice?
Your little weekend bromance.
He sacked me off early to go and play some bingo, though.
I did, yeah. I was kind of in the naughty books a little bit because, well, I thought I would be anyway. So we had tickets for me and my youngest daughter had tickets to go and watch Man United women's team play against Wolverhampton Wanderers women's in the FA Cup. Because it was literally down the road at Telford United Stadium. It was kind of too good not to go to, but we were also invited to a 40th birthday party of the evening, and it was a 5:15 kickoff. So, yeah, I was kind of warned not to be too late by various family members. Only to arrive. Oh, literally, I got there, but because it was over in Birmingham as well, so I travelled down there only for a majority of them to be in the St Andrews crowd for the Newcastle game anyway. So it was just one of them. It was a good busy day all round. It was a great game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Didn't you as well, Rich?
Oh, I loved it. I love spending time with you talking football.
Yeah, we spent the second half doing it, annoying all the 10-year-old girls around us. Just chatting about football really loud.
Keeping our heads down really low so everyone can see past us. It was a wonderful atmosphere and a great little stadium. But good one. Yeah. So it was very nice. And we've got Woody. Say hello, Woody.
Hello, everybody.
And what are you wearing today?
I'm wearing a German retro non-existent shirt today. Black and white.
But it looks phenomenal.
It is phenomenal. It's an Adidas Originals. But yeah, it was never worn. So if anyone's watching YouTube, don't come at me with thinking it's real, because it ain't.
I ain't gonna hate though. There will be somebody that hates.
Germany won it once in 1972.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I know this is not on the itinerary, but let me just see if I've got it. Oh, I got two shirts to show you. But first of all, I bought myself the Wolves third shirt.
Yeah, you did.
Purple and orange. It was 20 quid. And I got my daughter a Wolves goalkeeper shirt, and they were doing free name prints. So she's got Harper and number 1 on the back of the goalkeeper shirt.
This season's for 20 quid?
Yeah.
Wow, that's good on Wolves. Okay.
It was like very strange pricing because it was £24 for the home shirt, £27 for the away shirt, and then £18 for the third shirt.
They're obviously not going to wear the third shirt for the rest of the season, then, are they? They're just let's get rid. But
I really like the. I think I sent you guys some close-ups of the badge and how slightly weirdly fun textured it was, and I do like the fact that Wolves have gone for this retro style badge for the third kit, which a lot of teams are doing anyway.
But, I like it.
Where is it? This is making really good podcast material.
I was going to say, it sounds like you're down a well now to the listeners on Spotify.
You can just hear the hangers. You can hear the hangers clinking.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like he's at the next sale.
It's going through the TK Maxx rail. I don't want to thank my brother for this because my brother bought it for me, but I want to bring your attention to it because it's equal parts horrible, but equal parts quite nice. It's the kind of Team Geist reissue Adidas kit with the Juventus logo on, but in a blue and gold.
I like the blue and gold. That reminds me of Portsmouth. Do you remember they had their little
Yeah.
Canterbury era?
Well, this is exactly what I thought as well. And I didn't realise.
Sol Campbell on the back.
So it made me think how interesting it is that. Well, actually, it's going to lead in nicely to the subject of today's podcast, which is last week we had Rich Johnston on the pod, and we talked about copycat shirts, didn't we? Whereas, like, this is very much Canterbury copying the Adidas Team Geist mold from, was it 2002?
2004? Yeah, it might even be late. Yeah, it might even be later.
It was
Yeah,
the Germany World Cup.
yeah,
wasn't
it was. Yeah, it was.
So
Torsten Frings.
Oh, what a
Yes.
goal! Was that absolute blinder on the opening game?
Costa Rica, weren't it? Against first, yeah. Yeah, absolutely
very
rocket.
first game. God, our memory is so weird.
I remember exactly where I was when that happened as well.
So do I.
It had no significance whatsoever, but I can tell you exactly where I was.
You forget a 40th birthday, mate, the weekend, but you knew when Torsten Frings was against Costa Rica.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes. So our subject this week is going to be who wore it best, in which we'll be discussing teams that are wearing exactly the same shirt, but obviously with a different badge and sponsor on it. So that's actually leading quite nicely. But before we do that, we've got to say hello to Helen and catch up with Helen over in Rugby HQ.
Rugby Watch.
Rugby Watch. Six Nations going on. I believe England won a game against France. Is that right?
They did, yeah. I didn't get to watch that one because my son wasn't very well. But I watched the Wales-Italy match. Wales sort of imploding at the moment. But we hadn't remarked last week on Wales's shirt, which is really cool. They've got these flames on the arms, like the Welsh dragon. And I think
Nice.
if they were on better form as a team, it would be just so effective.
Because they would be on flames. as
Yeah,
they would say.
but instead
Nice.
they're going up in flames.
They're a damn barbecue at the moment. Yeah.
Right. Well, I look forward to next week's where you can give us some more information on another team that we haven't seen yet. But
There's only
France-
6 of them.
Yeah. True. Who am I
And
doing? Yeah,
away.
France and Ireland. Yeah. Well, this is the funny thing, isn't it? Like, England will have an away shirt, but they'll never wear it, right?
No, yeah, I don't think they will they, Helen?
They might do. They might do. I'm not sure what the fixtures
But
are.
Wales will
Wales
never wear
away.
theirs either, unless they play someone in the World Cup, right? Because that's
Yeah.
red. I mean, the
Yeah.
only one really is France and Scotland. Oh, wait, and
And
And Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a tournament where everyone wears blue. Right. Well, that's good. Thanks for that information. And I will definitely, we implore you all to check out the Welsh kit, because we're not discriminating against different teams' kits, because, you know, if you can put a bit of invention.
It's rugby. This
I
is
tell you what,
football.
buddy, you're going to hate it when I have our cricket special and we're going to talk about cricket kits.
Just let me know the week and I'll be washing my hair.
Right. Okay, we'll catch up with football-related business. And I've got anyone who has maybe seen something this week or something caught their eye in football shirt world, be it old, be it new.
I do.
Oh, yeah, go on. Share.
Toulouse released a remarkable lilac floral shirt. I think it was recently. I think it might have been today or yesterday. I've just seen the update on classic football shirts. But I think the colours, I don't know if Toulouse have ever had lilac involved in their kit before. Or
It's so. Thank you. I had not seen this one, and now I have. It's white, and it has lilac-y petals on it. Their nickname is Les Violets, apparently.
okay.
It's
Right.
violet flowers across a clean base, and they've got that exciting Nike tick that has the Nike tick and then the word Nike written over the top of it in lowercase. That's very exciting.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a retro-y vibe with a modern kind of fashion kind of mix. So I think they've kind of merged two worlds with this shirt for Toulouse.
And it does fit the Woody brief of being relevant to the team itself, right? Because, as we've just said, they are called Les Violets, and now they have the colour. So, yeah, I like that one. That's nice.
Yeah, it's really smart. I like the, obviously, the Nyctics class, isn't it? We've seen it a few times now. They've gone to an old school badge as well, but for me, the little jock tag at the bottom, that's incredible. It looks like it's a collab with a designer or design company called Visionaire. And man, that tag's class. The only thing that for me that lets it down is that horrible sponsor in the middle just being huge.
Yeah.
If it didn't have that, I think it would be absolutely stunning. I think it kind of drops it down quite a few points for me. But
do you reckon they'll do a sponsorless version?
Oh, mate, just get a hairdryer on it. It'll right off that.
Yeah.
Is it? Sorry, I don't know this. I haven't really looked.
It looks like a sticker
shirt or a fourth shirt.
I think it's third.
So they might do it because a lot of teams do tend to have like all the Adidas teams, don't they? They tend to do a sponsorless version of a third shirt. So maybe, fingers crossed. What about you, Jake?
God. Oh yeah, I noticed today. Genoa have done another sort of reissue. Last year they released a kind of like a 99 2000s Kappa home shirt, which went down an absolute treat with everybody. And now they've released the away shirt and a goalkeeper shirt to accompany it from those seasons. The away shirt is white and it's got those big Kappa tape-ins going down the sleeves. They do them in long sleeves as well, and they look incredible. The white, like I said, the white one has got like one of the tape-ins is red, one of them's blue to sort of echo that Genoa half and half shirt which they have in the home, and then the goalkeeper shirt at the time is very, very Kappa, almost like you remember Man City, Nicky Weaver, bright orange. Long sleeve with that Kappa taping down, and they're just brilliant. They're absolutely stunning. Kind of glad.
Do they wear these?
Yeah, they wore something similar back in the. They've literally done a like for like on them from.
No, but I mean, as in, are they wearing them now?
I don't think so.
This season.
No, I don't think so now. I think it was just a bit of a retro throwback because obviously they're wearing Kappa now and they've decided.
I'd love to see it if they did, but I think Woody called it there because they just look very sort of unwearable for playing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely.
I reckon they're playable.
I mean, of course they would have been, but
they look like they've got that Kappa. Is it Kappa Gaffer logo? In the collars. It looks like they've got that as their sort of in their tags, back of the neck tag. I reckon that's more playable than some of the sort of special releases. For example, the Honved kit.
You might be right. I think it just I would imagine that back in the day, unless it was the kind of like special Kappa tight shirts, it would have been a bit bigger and baggier. But now with modern fitting, it would be a nice tight fitting top, and it just looks a bit restricting to me, especially with those big cuffs. This is not to say I don't like it, but you're right. Unless I see it in person.
Yeah, I like it though.
Yeah, very good. I like it a lot. Right, so shall we crack on with the main body of the show? We decided to call, I decided to call it a bit Who Wore It Better? So what we're looking at, what we're looking for is throughout the history of football shirt templates, we see many teams wear similar templates, like Woody over here wearing his kind of Germany ziggy-zaggy 1990 Germany's position in the World Cup ziggy-zag, which was then also replicated by many teams, including a more recent Leicester City in pink.
Yes. Well, was it Cork City made the famous template,
Cork
wasn't it?
City made the template as well. But what we're looking for is teams that didn't wear the same template, but wore the exact same shirt. And it seems like, even though we had this planned about 2 weeks ago, someone's listening and getting involved, because Classic Football Shirts today dropped an Instagram post of exactly what we're talking about. So would it be a good idea to start with that one?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was on my list.
Yeah. So Woody, what shirts are we referring to?
I think I can't remember the dates though, Rich. That's the only thing, but it's AC Milan and Grimsby.
I reckon it was around 95-ish.
I was going to say it's 95, isn't it? But for me to describe it, it's very much like, it looks a very denim blue colour. And obviously it was a classic Inter Milan away shirt, but obviously discovered to be used by a couple during the kind of Lotto era. Grimsby, it was also Blackpool as well, I believe. Thank you to a few sources that have fed this back. So yeah, great shirt. I mean, I find it really, really like perplexing to understand that it's used in Serie A and then all of a sudden like Division 2. I think that's what I love about it.
There's a really famous picture that gets posted up every 6 weeks. You know, those photos of like greats that kind of do the circulation of Maldini in that blue kit, and it looks incredible. I don't think it would have looked the same on a few Knox County players from that time. Sorry to say, Knox County players.
It has, so to kind of describe it a little bit more, it has the famous Opel sponsor and Inter Milan, AC Milan badge, sorry. But do you know what it reminds me of is that kind of Manchester United grey shirt, the Man City away shirt, and the who was the other one? Chelsea.
Chelsea, with the cause. They break it into threes, don't they? Kind of, They're
broken into threes. There's a nice little red and black kind of line going across, single hoop, and then lots of diamond patterns, and then stripes at the bottom. And if you were to say to me, Richard, is this an AC Milan shirt? I'd say yes, it is, because they've incorporated red and black in the shirt, like teams tend to do. So, like an AC Milan shirt will be white, but then have red and black trim. So then to see this shirt replicating the Grimsby Town style, who wear black and white predominantly, it's just so strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. I like it, though. I think it just makes that shirt even more appealing to a collector. Because if you think, because I've never seen one in the flesh before. So I think if any of it is Grimsby Town, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So I was going to say, there must be some Grimsby fans there that wear that every week on a Saturday. And I bet, do they have a clue it's AC Milan? That's what I love about it.
I like the idea of someone's walking around in an AC Milan shirt in Grimsby.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or wearing a Grimsby shirt in AC Milan, on a Saturday game, Tom.
Even better, wouldn't it?
The Blackpool one is ever so slightly different in the fact that they have incorporated an orange stripe.
Yeah.
So Armour Blackpool. Yeah. And I really don't like their sponsor, because it really it's just a white block that says Telewest Communication. It just makes it look a little bit bleh. So I don't like the Blackpool one, but I think this is an easy slam dunk as a first one, but I'm going to ask the question anyway, who wore it best?
Anything that touches Maldini is who wore it best, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
AC Milan.
Yeah, Jake?
AC Milan.
Helen? Yeah. You're on mute, but I know what you're saying.
AC Milan.
I have to say, though, kudos to Grimsby for having... what is that? Something Opposed Foods. I mean, it's Food Town is their sponsor, which is such a kind of classic homemade.
We're off to Food Town.
Yeah. I tell you what, Jake, give me one. Give us another one now.
Okay, well, I'll keep on the Lotto theme then. and around the same era as well. And I'm going to go for the Torino away shirt from, it's got to be 94, 95-ish, something like that. And the Northampton Town away shirt from the same time. Both white, both have got that sort of broken Lotto logo on the shoulders. And there's a slight difference, I think, but I don't know whether this is just the lighting of the sort of shadow shade on that Lotto logo. The Torino one seems a little bit more brighter yellow, whereas that Northampton one is kind of a bit more like a bit more ambery, ochre colour. Kind of fits in with that crest a little bit more. So I don't mind that there's kind of colour matching to fit in with that club. Torino have got a really cool sponsor as well, Bongiorni, and Lotto is the sponsor for Northampton. So it's a double manufacture and sponsor shirt.
I do have it, and I'm really gutted that I can't find it.
Do you have the Torino or the Northampton?
I got Torino. But yeah, it's beautiful because there's like a yellow kind of shading to the burgundy kind of shapes on there, isn't there? Which I really loved about it.
Is it quite a bright yellow, Woody, in person?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find it. Carry on. Talk amongst yourselves.
So, looking at the Northampton one, because it's in short sleeve, so it makes me think of this a bit more. The design it's on the shoulders, isn't it? That's what it is. And I spoke about this last week. It gives me really big, sort of like rugby league, maybe Australian rugby league vibes, because they have sort of patterns of that sort on.
It's that collar as well, isn't it? That collar's very rugby league.
The collar's very rugby league.
It's very simple. There's no faffing on there. There's no little buttons or Velcro or zips or anything like that. It's just a straight up bit of material holding it together. Very Italian, early 90s Italian.
Yep, I love the. I really like it. I don't know if I prefer the long sleeve or the short sleeve, actually, which is quite unusual because I tend to have a big opinion on it. Whilst Woody's looking, and he's going to show it, it may change my opinion. I'm going to start with you, Helen. Who wore it better?
Yeah, I mean, like you guys have said, it's quite hard to know how different the colours are. But I like the Italian one. I think there's strong sort of superhero vibes with these shoulder details. That gets my vote.
Okay, well, do you know what? I'm going to go a bit rogue, and I say Northampton wore it better. I like the way that the kind of, if it is a different yellow, I like the different yellow pairs a lot nicer to me with the kind of maroony brown. It doesn't jar as much. I'm not saying that the other one is bad. I just prefer that colour scheme as a kind of gentler pattern. And I also love the fact that Lotto is the sponsor, so it's just like a massive Lotto logo. Jake, what about you?
It's a tough one because they're both really nice, aren't they? They're both really cool. Similar to that AC Milan and Grimsby one. I'm going to go, just because I'm a massive fan of Italian football in the 90s, Torino's.
Well, I'm going to guess what Woody's going to say, but I'm going to let him say it anyway, because he owns it.
I'm going to go with Torino. Sorry, I'm gutted I can't find it. Sorry for that.
Too many shirts, Woody.
Yeah, no. But yeah, Torino's beautiful, and I'm with Jake. It's that Serie A 90s shirt that just tips it for me.
Okay, fair enough. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to enter the next one now, and I'm going to pick what is my favourite. And I think with some of these kits, it's kind of a, you know that they exist, but then some of these you don't, and then they pop up and you're like, it's absolutely crazy. For example, Manchester United from the treble winning season. So that would be 98-99. Is that right, Jake?
Correct.
If you remember correctly, they wore a little zip. And they had the Umbro taping going down the sleeve. Red shirt, obviously sharp, Umbro Manchester United badge with a white collar with little red line and then a black kind of trim at the bottom. And for me, that was Manchester United shirts. I believed it was bespoke to them, especially because of the zip. I'd never seen that before, and I don't think I'd seen it on any other kits before until it popped up again, and I cannot for the life of me remember what the name of the team is.
Vicenza.
Also are wearing it. Vicenza, is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's identical. There are no differences whatsoever other than Vicenzo logo and sponsor of Cafe Vero.
Did they have the black socks with it, the white shorts? Do you know?
I don't know. That would be interesting to find out whether they had an identical kit.
I will Google now.
Because that is probably one of my favourite Man United home shirts. I just think that Umbro were incredible with that shirt. Not only the team and the season, but just the taping on the sleeve did it for me. The Umbro. Incredible.
Yeah, because the seasons after and before, they didn't have the taping, did they? It was just like a plain red shirt. So, like I say, this for me was just so Manchester United. So when I saw this one pop up, I thought this isn't real. The differences, the slight differences, there aren't any differences, sorry, but the Sharp has a black outline around it, whereas the sponsor for Vicenzo is just plain white. And they do have a white and red badge, so I kind of don't know whether that's better or worse than the Manchester United one.
I would like to know the kind of thought process behind these kits that are identical, because we obviously know the famous kind of last-minute decision of the Argentina shirt against England in the World Cup in '86 with having to panic buy a shirt and that sort of thing. I wonder if that's kind of a club's kind of last-minute decision of going, right, what's a template out there that's free at the moment that we can pinch and put a sponsor on? Because obviously if you look at the Blackpool one, we're putting Telly West across. That is literally like Pritt stick it on, go and play at Northampton away. Do you know what I mean?
It looks like they've gone and bought a load of AC Milan shirts and covered up the ones. So
yeah.
Whereas these ones are very purposefully done. Helen, what do you think of these two?
They look the same.
Oh yeah, right. I know. This is it. There's no difference between them. Jake, as a Manchester United fan, I mean, I know that you were a fan of this shirt, weren't you?
Oh, massive fan of the shirt. The shirt's incredible. It was since it was released. The one thing which I've kind of stumbled upon whilst looking at like who wore it best, because I went down the Umbro route and I looked at a load of Umbro shirts, and I noticed that after that treble winning season from Man United, a load of Umbro based teams suddenly had this shirt pop into their kit selection the following year. So whether it was just the success of the shirt and they were offered it as a template and they just snapped it up because of what United did, I'm not too sure, because I think this one come out 99-2000 for Vicenza, and I think Royal Antwerp used it as well, and there might have been another one, but they were all seasons after Manchester United wore it, which part of me, I kind of feel maybe they believe it could be I don't know, maybe lucky or
win them the treble.
Yeah, or I don't know. It is a striking looking shirt. That taping's brilliant. I'm so glad that we got that for a season or a couple of seasons at least, because we had that shirt for a few years.
I've just realised something, and this doesn't make any difference whatsoever. It was their away shirt. It was Vicenzo Calcio's away shirt.
Yeah, the red and white stripes, aren't they, as their main colour?
Yes, I did not know this, and I'm learning this for the first time.
I'm guessing. I'm just having a little look. I know quite a few seasons that have like a white away shirt, even though they wore red and white, and then the opposite one will be red.
And they, not that it matters as well, but their third kit actually was another Manchester United sort of template. It was yellow, so it wasn't the same, but it had kind of like grey stripes on the arms. I'm going to hold my phone up, so I know this makes terrible podcasting, but you can see that one. Jake,
yeah.
Yeah, we had a white one. I think Everton and Chelsea had a yellow one. It was
very strange.
Yeah. But yeah, I
Okay.
think there's a few teams went for it after United won the treble, and who can blame them, really?
Yeah. I wonder if anybody else won the treble. Okay, so Jake, I'm going to start with you. Who wore it better?
Man United.
Yeah, Woody?
Yeah, United. Yeah, 100%.
Helen?
Yeah, United.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same, Manchester United. Okay, so moving on, we're going to go back to... Actually, Helen, do you want to present one, or you just want to ask questions?
I'll just join in. I don't want to present one. Thank you.
Okay. Woody, back to you then, mate.
So mine is Napoli and Aston Villa. And
Yes.
I believe this is 91, 92, I think.
Start of the Prem.
Start of the Prem.
Yeah.
So
92,
obviously,
93.
oh yes, sorry. So obviously, Umbro at that point were incredible in the 90s, and these were, well, they almost look quite medieval, don't they? I mean, they're very kind of Robin Hood kind of style with the round neck and the lace collar. But obviously, Aston Villa and Napoli, I'm not going to say are identical, because if you put both kits up, there's almost a funny shade of blue on the Napoli sleeves to the traditional kind of claret and blue of Villa. I think that's the only thing I can kind of detect from it. Have Napoli ever used claret in their away since? I don't know. I don't know if that's a traditional colour of Naples. But yeah, it's got the Viola sponsor. And then obviously Villa have got Mitre copiers, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I've got great memories of this in terms of like Dean Saunders and kind of Steve Staunton, all that kind of era of Aston Villa. And I always used to think the tassels look really odd, but now I've seen them used in Parma kits, Napoli kits, obviously Aston Villa in the Umbro range. I just thought this was quite an interesting one.
Yes, it's. I think what's interesting with some of these, and actually most of them that we see, is that one of the team's versions will look very odd because we're not used to that colour scheme. So the Napoli one really kind of pinches because it's like, well, hold on a minute, hold on, what? Whereas Aston Villa were just so used to having it and probably knowledge of.
But am I right, though, in terms of, does the kit look a little bit darker on Napoli? In terms of the blue and the actual burgundy, or
I know that
are they
I
the
can
same?
see that the Aston Villa one has a stripe, a burgundy stripe at the bottom of the arm, which may affect your vision of the colour, but I can't tell. But now that I see it, I think Aston Villa's does look darker.
The blues look the same.
Do they? Okay.
I tell you who would know is Al Shaw, because he's got both. That's one of... I remember
Al Shaw and Russell recommended this to me, so I haven't done them a service on the pod.
Now, I know when Al came on before, this is before you guys and before Helen edited videos, he had all of his... He collects these ones, so he's got all of the collection of them. So that's wicked that he was like this one, and then this one, and then this one.
Beautiful collection.
Okay, but I tell you what, this one's a tougher one when it comes to who wore it better. But Woody, who wore it better?
Dean Saunders, all the way.
Okay, Jake.
Villa, it's Villa for me. Like growing up, load of Villa mates, they had it, and it was cool. It was cool as hell. It's got an AVFC jacquard in that Umbro material that is so 90s.
I thought it did. What does the Napoli one have? Do you know?
Nothing, just Umbro.
Is it just Umbro? Okay.
Just Umbro, yeah.
Helen, what about you?
Can I ask a question to Woody?
Yeah.
When he was talking about tassels, do you mean like the ends of the laces? Because I can see in the picture they're different. Is that on purpose? Is that what you mean?
No, I'm on about the whole thing. I just call them tassels as laces. Yeah.
They were in my room 101, actually, of laces on football shirts, just because I mean, don't get me wrong.
How very dare you?
See, I knew you'd say that. I just don't see the point in them. I really don't see the point in what they offer as a football shirt, other than hitting yourself in the
I'm
face.
sorry.
As you're
My neck's cold. Let me do my shirt up. What is wrong with that?
And you love those zips on the Man United shirt about 3 minutes ago.
Thanks, Helen.
I'm going to be like,
There you go. There you go.
it up, and that's fine. But this is always my question. I don't know if I asked you this when I told you about it the first time, Woody. How would you wear it? You're in 1992. You're a professional footballer for Napoli or for Aston Villa. You get given your shirt for the first time. What are you doing with those? Because you don't want them too loose, so they're hitting you in the face. You don't want to do them up, because then you look like a Wally with a bow.
Do you ever remember those shoelaces you used to get, the little curly whirly ones you just used to pull?
Curly whirly ones. And your shirt look like that when you're running.
Nice fluorescent curly whirly tassels. Yeah, I'd go full out. I'd go proper, so like they were swinging about and getting in like strikers' faces when we were going out for headers. Yeah, proper.
Attach little heavy little things on the bottom
beads
and use them as actual weapons.
Aston Villa beads.
Nice. Okay, so Helen. Oh, sorry. So I had Aston Villa. Helen, who are you picking?
I'm picking Napoli. I think that the font on the sponsor really adds to the kind of medieval feel of it all. I'm into these shirts. I think they're great. I've never seen them before. They're cool.
Yeah, I am actually going to agree with Helen there. I think Napoli on this one. Obviously, I know Aston Villa a bit better, so I can picture them wearing it. But yeah, I think yeah, okay, right. Jake, over to you. Next one.
I'm gonna keep on with Umbro, and I'm gonna select we kind of know it more as the England '96 away shirt, the grey one.
Yeah,
and we all know what it looks like. Various grey versions in stripes. You know, there's little bits of patterns and lines and stuff like that going on. But one of the interesting things that I found out was when looking through these Umbro shirts, Royal Antwerp had it as their away shirt, but they had it as 95 to 96 away shirt. So technically, release time, it could have been actually out before the England shirt.
So England copied Royal Antwerp.
I mean, I'm
Don't
only
ruin
going
my childhood, Jake.
I'm only going off like the limited information which I could find. But yeah, this Royal Antwerp away shirt is dated 95 to 96, whereas the England shirt was literally released just before Euro 96.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure it was.
They do release them a few months before tournaments, so it's...
I know the home shirt that we wore in Euro 96 was worn in 95, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So did we ever have an away kit at that point? Did we ever use one?
Wasn't it the red one?
Well, I always thought it was the burgundy.
So no, we would have been wearing... Now, hold on a minute.
Whilst we're on, I will
would have been
fact check
one,
that, because
it would be the burgundy
seemed
one
to
with
have
the England
caused a
badge
stir.
right here.
But haven't Royal Antwerp come up twice now for stealing Umbro template?
Mm-hmm. They can come up a few more times as well, to be honest.
Aren't they just? Okay.
Right, we need to keep it moving along because we're on a bit of a rush time. It just looks, especially with a national team shirt, you're just so used to it being sponsorless. So then seeing a shirt that has a sponsor on just really grates a little bit more, doesn't it? And being in a foreign language, it just, I don't know. So I'm going to ask, who wore it better? Woody?
England. Thank you.
Yep, I'm going to go England too. Helen, what about you?
Yeah, England.
Okay. Jake?
Royal Antwerp.
Ooh. Do you want to give me a little...
It's the reason why we lost the semi-final. They couldn't see each other properly in that grey.
Right. Good point.
Okay. Yeah, very, very good point. Yeah. I tell you what, I am going to keep on the England theme. And when this one was introduced, my mind was absolutely blown. England's most famous football kit. The time that football was reborn. The time that
Yeah.
fans started to get behind England again. I'm talking about nothing but Italian 90. I'm talking about vivid colours on the television, you know, kind of hues that are too powerful for your TV. Germany's green and, you know, that kind of stuff. And then England's white. And everyone's owned it. Everyone's at some point owned it as a football fan. You know what it is. It's the white shirt, blue collar with a kind of triangle bit, which has got kind of stripy pattern on. And it's famous for its added pattern on the sleeve. Do you own this one, Woody? Or did you own it? No. Okay.
The 1990, yeah, 1990's got a jacquard in. I had it back in the day, and yeah, like I said, I've got one now.
So
it's
the
like
jacquard, I can see it myself now. It's kind of like zigzag line diamonds with little bits of pattern. And the reason why I can see the jacquard is because mind was blown when I saw a picture of Chris Waddle sporting a Georgia kit. So
no, not Georgia, not Georgia. Cagliari.
Apologies. Cagliari
away shirt.
Then. I thought it was
the badge
flag.
looks like the flag. I think
that's why I got confused. It's Cagliari, so it's the England shirt. It's the England Italian 90 shirt, and there's another badge on it, and there's a sponsor on it.
Yeah.
And why is Chris Waddle wearing it? It makes no sense to me. It's hurting my brain.
Yeah.
Why does he have it?
Yeah,
Woody, did you know about this one before?
No, Chris never told me. So I had no clue he had this shirt. I didn't know this shirt existed. And obviously it's my favourite England shirt of all time. So slightly mortified that someone else has actually had it before. But yeah, I mean, such a beautiful shirt to be copied, you know?
Yeah. I reckon Jake's looking at when it was released. But I don't want to know. Don't ruin it, Jake. What do you think about it, Jake?
Classic. It's just classic. It's just the 1990 full set of kits are just iconic. So many amazing memories for him. Gaza, Lineker, David Platt, all from that tournament. And to be honest with you, I've got a bit of a soft spot for Cagliari. I remember my dad having the home shirt from around about the same era, and that was gorgeous. And you didn't see stuff like that floating about in the UK. So, like, yeah, I've always got a little bit of a soft spot. I like the badge.
Okay, so this might be a tough one for you. If we can take out the sentiment, that was weird the way I said the sentiment, the sentimentality of Italian 90 and that England team, and if you just look at the cold hard facts, who wore it better? What's the better shirt? Is it Cagliari or is it England? This is a tough one for
England. I'd have to say England for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that shirt looks beautiful without a sponsor, so it's England for me.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with you there, Helen.
Yeah, I'll agree too.
Okay. Right. Well, do you know what? That actually kind of, as a kind of picking which one wore it best, I think that turned out exactly how I expected it, because it turned out that the team that are more recognised for having the shirt seem to wear it better than the kind of the other ones we see coming in. There are plenty more, but we are running out of time, so we might have to save them for next time, because I feel like we can have a part 2. We got enough for a part 2, but a couple of weeks ago we were talking about Football Shirt Room 101, and I said to Jake, I can't remember what yours was, and he says, I don't think I've ever done one. And so I thought, Jake, here's your opportunity. Football Shirt Room 101. For those that don't know, Room 101 was a TV program. I don't remember when it was, but celebrities would come on and they would enter something into Room 101, and the idea is you would never see it again. So I thought, why not do a football shirt version where you can enter anything you want into Room 101? Woody, yours was football shirt pattern designs for sake of pattern and design that have nothing to do with the club or the team. I like that one.
Yeah.
Mine was, I mean, I've got quite a few, but the laces on shirts. I mean, it's just a bit of fun. But Jake, you've had plenty of time to think about it.
I have,
Dim the lights, Jake.
It's over.
No, I have. And like, I thought of like quite a few, but they're really tedious little crap things.
I like tedious crap things. That's what makes this podcast brilliant.
Regarding football shirts. So like, I really dislike and thought the game changed a little bit when goalkeepers were given short sleeve shirts.
Oh, Jake, you beauty.
They need to sack that off and just keep the long sleeve, keep the padding in. I don't like short sleeve goalkeeper shirts.
Barthez ruined it, eh?
Barthez ruined it, yeah, ruined it. I've got a goalkeeper one, which is that, and I've got an outfield one, which is which was a massive sort of thing in like the 2000s, which is players opting for Under Armour rather than wearing long sleeve shirts.
Oh yeah.
So they're both kind of sleeve related.
Yeah.
So yeah, my goalkeeper one is the short sleeve shirts, and then outfield one is just wear a long sleeve shirt.
Shirts.
What are you wearing? Underwear.
Georgie Campos.
Under Armour.
Yeah.
Can I tell you on that? Very interesting that you say that, because this weekend when I went to go and buy my Wolves shirt, long sleeve, I decided to ask the person behind the till, Rayan Aït-Nouri, who plays for Wolves in a kind of full-back, wing-back position. He wears currently a long sleeve shirt. So does João Gomez. And so I thought, hey, I'll ask a question. I said, Rayan Aït-Nouri wears a long sleeve version, but in the club shop you only sell the fan version of the long sleeve. Does he have his own special long sleeve pro version made? And she's like, yeah. So they make shirts, long sleeve shirts, that they don't sell in the club shop, which I find quite interesting.
Yeah. Right. I like that one there, Jake.
Actually, that's that kind of that. Back in the day, that used to be they never used to make especially Umbro, and this is kind of relevant to one of Woody's recent purchases. You never used to be able to get long sleeved Umbro shirts in the early 90s. United, that lace up one you couldn't buy commercially, and I know Woody's got some Sheffield Wednesday ones which he couldn't get at the time long sleeved. It's mad, isn't it? It's weird. It is really weird because if you think about it, like before then in the 80s and stuff like that, then that was all they released for some.
Well, do you know what, Jake? I'm entering it in.
Both of them.
Well done. Both of them, yeah. Of course,
I thought you might be against the short sleeve goalkeeper one, Rich.
I mean, I have short sleeve goalkeeper shirts now, but I kind of think at some points I don't know why they don't sell them as an option, because some people do like them, some people don't like them. I think the choice is great. I like the choice. I just, but I'm with you. If you're going to wear short sleeves, wear short sleeves. If you're going to wear long sleeves, wear long sleeves. Don't wear it with one underneath. I don't know, does it make shirts better so you don't have to? Or was it just a trend that hasn't yet gone away?
Make shirts better. Make shirts great again.
We'll have that on a bright red hat. Make shirts great.
Start selling them.
I mean, yeah, that's good. I think we're nearly done, aren't we? Unless someone else has got anything they want to add to Football Shirt Room 101.
No.
Shall I add my my angry moment from earlier?
Helen, what is going on? You've got an angry moment. You have something you want to add into Football Shirt Room 101. It is very important, and this can be entered in because you're right. And the point of Football Shirt Room 101 with podcast is we talk about football shirts, and we talk about collectors, and we talk about people appreciating football shirts for what they are. So I'm going to say what you want to talk about is very relevant and can go in the bin.
Okay, so it's not an aspect of football shirts, but it is related to football shirts. I'm putting people who are arseholes about football shirts in Room 101, please. So what happened to me this week is that the algorithms have kind of caught up with my life, and they started serving me football shirt news, and I was quite pleased. I was quite happy to be seeing news that I was interested in, and that made me feel like a little bit like in the gang. And what it was Sunderland have released an equality shirt, and I think it's really nice. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look at it. I think it's very tastefully done.
Absolutely brilliant. It's gorgeous. Yeah.
So it's the template of their current away shirt, which is their one that's a throwback to the 19-somethings. And it's a blackout, but as Helen's pointed out, in certain aspects of where it would be a colour, they've gone for a rainbow gradient pattern, haven't they? Is that right?
Yeah, and I think it's slightly important to note that it's carefully designed. So it's not a big, flamboyant, camp, over-the-top piece of merch. I think it's, you didn't have to know what you were looking at to realise that it was a rainbow significance. And in their press release as well, their statement is really gentle. It's not aggressive. They're not trying to make a huge noise. They've literally, what did they say? They just we want this to stand as a reminder that no matter who you are, who you love, or what you believe in, football will always be a welcoming home for all. I love that. I think that's so nice. But because it was on social media, there was a load of comments underneath it, and they were horrible. It was really miserable and depressing, and just people being nasty and gatekeeping. And that's what I think is so horrible, is that there is such a support in being a sports fan, being part of a community that are they're feeling the same things together. And I think it's so beneficial for so many people to feel those things. And stopping people from being part of that community because they're different in some way than yourself is just miserable, and I hate it. And they're going in room 101.
It's a safe space in here, but not out there, Helen. That's the problem.
I would very opinionated. I'd very much like you to clip that bit up, and we'll put that on socials, because I think everyone needs to hear that and see that, because it's so true. And I love the term gatekeeping, because it's so true. Why are they gatekeeping what football shirts can look like for everybody?
Just don't buy it if you don't want it.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly that.
Ignore
and I think
it.
this is a Hummel thing that they do every year. And this year, I don't know if other teams have done it, they might, but in other years, they've gone for a pre-match shirt which has been a bit more garish. Do you remember, Jake and Woody, there were ones where it was like a chopped up shirt and bits of mash, right? And it did look garish, and I can see why people were a bit more anti it, because it was a bit in your face. But this one is so subtle. It's so tastefully done. And I mean, to be honest with you, I like a rainbow pattern as it is.
I think what you've got to realise as well is the beautiful thing about football shirts is what someone dislikes is someone's treasure, and they absolutely love it. No matter what season, era of kid it is, if they love it, leave them alone. Let them enjoy it. That's the whole beauty of collecting football shirts and the community that we're in. And I think once people start becoming opinionated and start expressing it on other people, that's where it's just not wanted.
And on that point, it's gone next year. If you hate a football shirt so much, guess what? Next year it'll be replaced by another one. So what's the point in getting so angry about it? I don't particularly like Wolves' away shirt this year. I think it's awful, but I'm not going to tell people what to think about it. I just don't like it. And guess what? In a few months, it'll be 10 quid, and they'll have another one coming out soon.
Yeah, I think the big fuck you to the people that really thought that they were voicing a good argument when it really wasn't, is that shirt sold out. There is a demand for it. There is a want for it, regardless of what people's opinions or entitlement they feel like they need to. I I feel like they I think they called it the equality shirt, and I think that riles people up, isn't it? Especially like the entitled gammon people, because they feel like other people are getting something that they're not getting just because of their beliefs and stuff.
Do you know what I'd do? And this sounds silly as hell, and it's supposed to be funny, is if I was in charge of a football team and I had people negatively respond to that, next year I'm going to have the gay shirt.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Just be like,
how many sequins can you put on a home shirt?
Yes,
brilliant.
Tassels.
It won't be a drawstring, it will be tassels.
Yeah. Silky ones. All right.
Fair play, Sunderland. Well done.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
And equally making their push for the best trio of football shirts this season, which is what I had said earlier in the year. Anyway, we are done. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. We really appreciate you spending your time listening or watching this podcast. We really do appreciate it. We are back next week. That's good. Normal time recording. And hopefully this podcast will be out at this normal time because, I just got drunk and I forgot to post it. So sorry, everybody, for the late one. Thank you, Helen, for giving me the push. Otherwise, we would have been waiting quite a while. Anyway, Helen, it's your turn to say goodbye. But before you do, where can people find you if they want to get somebody to do excellent producing / editing?
You can find me at crabslum.com.
Cool. Jake, where can people find your brilliant artwork?
Art on Shirts FC on all of the socials.
Cool. If anyone wants to see pictures of me playing football, then you can just follow me at Evil Genius Rich. But otherwise, you can see us on @ShirtsPod. Helen, bring us home. You deserve it.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.